Bartholonude, Hamilton, Benedict, and Vyswine stood in the front of the massive door that stood etched and sealed in the side of the erupting volcanic mountain. The air was hot, and the smell of the burning forest and smoke filled the void around them. Vyswine approached the door and put his hand against the massive stone crease as he ran his dragon claw down the rocky crevice searching for a break or entry point. He stopped, heard something amongst the midst of the rumbling of the mountain. As he turned, he made eye contact with Bartholonude, Benedict, and Hamilton, and then he saw it. Behind them, near the bottom of the stairs leading to the door, was Christopher. He was on his knees, leaned back with his arms outstretched to his sides. His head was angled back and his eyes were pure white. The sound of an incoherent mutter filled the air. Bartholonude followed Vyswine's eyes, turned and saw Christopher in this position. He rushed down the stairs, placed his hand on his shoulder, and tried to shake him. Christopher was unmoved, almost as if he were made of stone. His chanting grew louder, and the rest of the party gathered around, fearful for their cleric friend. "Stand back," Vyswine interjected, and he pulled a scroll from his pocket. Vyswine began to read the scroll, but as the words left his mouth and his draconic tongue, there was an ear-shattering sound that absorbed the entirety of the space around them. Everyone clutched their hands to their ears, attempting to shield themselves from this horrid sound, but before Vyswine's ears could be covered, he was lifted off the ground by seemingly nothing, choking, struggling for his breath. Christopher stood quickly, and in one swift movement straightened his body and raised his shield firmly. He stood still, expressionless, with his pure white eyes staring at Vyswine. The infinity symbol on the front of his shield was shining as bright as any of them had ever seen. Vyswine's eyes closed tight, and as he yelled, he was blinded by the light. With a single movement, Christopher extended his shield in front of him swiftly, and from the blue infinity symbol on his shield extended a mighty ghostly hand of tremendous size that batted Vyswine against the ancient stone door, and he fell on his side with a grunt. The giant hand disappeared, and Christopher's eyes flickered between white and normal. Christopher fell to his knees and began to mumble, and his body acted as if he was attempting to regain control. Moments passed, and Christopher's eyes returned to normal. Vyswine sat up and shook himself off. He stood, drew his weapon, and panicked. The look on his face was one of pure confusion and frustration. His eyes raced from face to face, and when Bartholonude and Vyswine locked eyes, he stopped. Bartholonude? Is that you? It's been so long. Oh no! No! As this happened, the side of the mountain exploded over the top of everyone, and rocks and fire began to rain down. Everyone certain this is where they would meet their doom. All turning, reacting, attempting to shield themselves from the falling debris. From the hole in the mountain, a massive rock giant, wreathed in flame, slowly raised from the smoke. And in one fell swoop, his massive hands spanning the size of Bartholonude alone, and his arms fell around the entire party. He let out a torturous yell and leaned backwards, pulling himself and the entire party deep into the side of the mountain. Bartholonude, you awake, and you sit up, and everyone else is passed out around you. You are deep in a dark cavern. There are torches lining the hallways, from a significant distance away from you, but casting just enough light for you to be able to look around and see everyone still knocked out. There's no sign of the giant that you all saw before you fell down in this cavern, and you have no idea how long you have been unconscious.
So I start to gain my bearings, and I look around, and I see all three of my party.
Yeah, and Vyswine.
And Vyswine, he's there too?
They're all unconscious.
So I'm going to first walk up to...
So all three of your party.
I'm not even going to walk, per se, just kind of... I'm going to truffle over to...
Truffle.
To Topher.
He's going to shuffle.
And I kind of
traverse.
Take my hand and kind of shake him a little bit. Kind of make sure that he's still there. And I'm looking at some of the others just to make sure that they don't look like they've suffered any injuries from the events that has just taken place. And I look out in the distance and I try to see what's around me.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
8.
8? Okay. With an 8, you look around and you see that obviously you were in some type of stone cave. But as you peer off into the distance, you see the walls become more square. There are more corners and there are torches. And with an 8, that's about all you'll be able to tell. Is you can see that obviously it goes from a natural formation into something more man-made.
Is it pretty dark around where we're at?
There are torches down the hallway, but where you're at, yeah, it's dark.
So I have a torch in my equipment.
Okay.
It burns for 1 hour and providing light for up to 20-foot radius, dim light for additional 20 feet past that. So I take out my torch and kind of brandish it in a way that I hold it up high enough to where I can maybe gain more bearings with our immediate vicinity.
So give me another perception check since you did that, and with advantage.
14.
14? Okay. So you kind of, you light your torch and you stand up and you kind of wave your torch around and kind of look around in a circle. And as you do that, you start to notice the types of things that you're seeing. Circling the floor around you, you see golden patterns inlaid in the floor and the walls as they kind of streak down the hallways, causing a shimmering of light all around you. You look behind you, and just feet away from where you were laying, there is a giant cavernous hole that's going down with burnt marks deeper into the earth, where you can only assume that this fire giant has slid back down into the earth. As you look down where the other torches are on the wall where the light was, you can see where the floor becomes brighter. You can't really tell why.
This is down into the hole?
Yeah, further down the hallway, you can see where the floor becomes brighter, but right before where the floor gets brighter, there is a pathway that appears to branch off to the right.
And this hole that I found that was very close to where I was laying, can I tell how deep it is?
It's way further than you can see. Is
that because of a lack of light, or is it because it's just I can see it, but I know that it's really, really, really deep.
Right, like hundreds of feet deep.
Gotcha.
Now, you could probably see a good 40, 50, 60 feet down in, and it's still going.
Gotcha. So if it's now still all up to me, I'm going to try to see if I can't wake these people up.
Okay.
I have another piece of equipment here that I might want to use. I have a water skin. I guess the question in general, those aren't filled by default.
I believe they are. That's fine.
I'm going to take a little bit of water and kind of one by one go to each of my comrades and kind of try to wake them up a little bit, give them a sense of refreshment.
Okay. So as you walk around and you distribute the water, you kind of lift each of them up into your giant dragon hand and kind of put the water into their mouths as their heads are lifted so as they don't choke on it, and each of them start to come to their senses and start to wake up. And so now all of you are slowly waking up and kind of getting a bearing for where you are, as well as Bartholonude.
As they're beginning to wake up, I begin to walk carefully with my torch down the hallway toward the light that we saw as the hallway narrowed into like a more natural sort of cave, and then there was that platform of light, but it looked like it branched off. I'm just going to walk down that and kind of hold my torch up in a way that might reveal some of the where we are, try to find out what our situation is.
Okay, so you have kind of walked about 40 feet away from where everyone else in your party was. I don't know if they followed you or not. But as you walk closer, you can see that it almost appears that what the floor was made out of, instead of being part stone, that you don't really know what kind of stone it is, but just part stone, rock, and then inlaid with gold, it turns into a pure crystal clear floor. And below, you can see the river of Neverwinter that is flowing beneath the mountain. Now, you have walked up to the point where you can see this, and right where you're standing, you can continue walking forward on this path. There's also a small, dimly lit path off to your right as well.
Okay. So I'm going to turn around and look back at the party, kind of see what their status is. See if they've gained consciousness, if they've stood up, if they've began to explore the area.
I'm awake and
Woke.
way woke. Like, I'm on it. Hella woke.
AF.
But I would like to know I want to know if Vyswine's, like, good. Something obviously happened to that motherfucker. I mean, other than the fact that he got slapped. But he doesn't, like, really remember anything, I don't think. Like, he didn't know where he was.
Okay, so do you try to talk to him, or what do you do?
Yeah, I want to talk to him.
What do you say to him?
Are you good?
You narrate your own character.
Tell him.
Vyswine.
Vyswine.
Are you,
The Sweeney.
are you all right? Vyswine.
Vyswine is still kind of just collecting his thoughts. He's extremely, extremely confused. And he doesn't answer you. But not because he's, like, ignoring you. You can just tell he is extremely, like, frustrated.
My man,
And you kind of snapped him out of his thought, and he kind of he walks away from the three of you and walks to Bartholonude. Bartholonude, you're standing there kind of gauging what your surroundings and where you think you want to head, and you feel a hand on your shoulder. And as you turn around, you see Vyswine standing there. And he says, Bartholonude, it is so good to see you. Please, do not worry. You are not here on my volition. I have been tricked into leading you here.
Vyswine, do you not remember?
I have been commanded under a spell. I remember everything. The Golden Elder has led us here.
And my face just turns pissed. Oh man. Like my disposition completely changes. And I look at Vyswine and I say, "What?"
Vyswine he's not taken aback by this, because he knew exactly just how upset he would be. He was scared to even tell you this. I knew it! And he takes his hand off your shoulder and he says, please forgive me. I never would have betrayed your trust had it been my choice. But I am a golden dragon, and I have forsaken all bonds of our Golden Elder. And recently, in my trip back to my homeland, I stumbled upon him, and that is the last I remember having my own control. Whatever it was that hit me knocked me out of this spell.
Vyswine, tell me. What is the process? Where is he at? How far has he come in perfecting the ultimate Dragonborn?
It has been many moons since I have seen him. I have been under his spell for ages. I do not know. I am but a pawn. Please forgive me.
Can I hear this conversation?
You guys can probably hear off in the distance, but like I did say, he walked about 40 feet away from you guys, so the chances of you guys being able to make out specifics are probably pretty slow.
But do you think that I know that it's kind of his fault?
He did.
Am I able to
just
gather
scream,
that much?
That it was Vyswine's fault?
You
Yeah.
you might be able to tell based on my caricature that my demeanor's changed. Plus, I just screamed out loud.
Yeah.
Based on what you guys know about the history that Vyswine and Bartholonude have, you can assume that that he's upset, and you know what's. I wouldn't say you know the specifics, but you know that there's something going on.
Yeah.
And you feel justified in your reason for hating him and not trusting him.
Yeah. So then I would like to make a suggestion to the entire party. Why don't we give him a torch and throw him down this hole and see where it goes?
Hamilton, I have half a mind to agree with that. Only a buffoon would succumb to such ignorant happenings. But we must remain with some composure here. We're in this together, whether we like it or not.
Also, keep in mind that you guys, all three of you, Bartholonude excluded, don't know anything about this dragon elder. You don't know his power. You don't know anything, and the only person that's been exposed to it would be Bartholonude. So it would make sense that you guys would all want to hurt this guy. You all feel betrayed by him, but Bartholonude realizes quickly that it's not entirely his fault, as this guy is very powerful.
Oh no, he's a dumbass.
What's up?
So Topher stands up and he's facing Bartholonude and everybody else, and you see a floating spectral weapon in front of me, and I start walking towards Vyswine.
Okay, so Vyswine starts to step back. Like, he knows that you're coming out closer to him with the spectral weapon.
Can I
obviously.
cast guidance on him?
If you want to.
On Topher?
Yeah, I mean, free action.
Because I'm getting the feeling that he's about to try to attack Vyswine. So I'm going to throw guidance on him.
Okay.
Also, my boner begins to stir.
Begins to stir.
Boner.
Jed's kitchen equipment aside, Vyswine continues to walk backwards. You now have guidance cast upon you, Topher.
Okay.
And he isn't trying to. He's not wielding a weapon, anything. He's walking backwards, and he goes, "Please, I understand. I understand why you'd be upset, but realize it took an act of your deity to release me from this spell. Mishkal himself had to get this spell off of me. That is the only explanation. Please, I wish to help you. I would never betray Bartholonude."
See, Topher doesn't know that because Topher doesn't remember that.
Well, he just told you.
I don't know, but I don't know this guy.
I'm not saying you guys can do whatever you want to. I'm just trying to.
I don't really believe him. I don't know him. I don't trust him. It's gonna take,
Is he still backing up away from Topher?
Yeah, he's got a long way to back up too. There's hallways and all kinds of stuff.
How
behind
far
you guys.
away is he from me?
You haven't specifically stated that you've moved yet, so he's probably everyone's probably a good 25, 30 feet away from him.
Good.
So-
I would like to cast Create Bonfire 10 feet behind him.
Okay. Does it say how big these bonfires can be?
They have a 5-foot area. That's why I cast it 10 feet away, because I don't actually want to hurt him. I just want to make it to where he can't keep backing up.
Okay. He could definitely keep backing up because these hallways are a good 25 feet
Well,
wide.
it's a cantrip, so I'll just keep casting it.
Okay.
It's got 5 nice bonfires.
Vyswine is pretty tall as well. He could just jump.
That's fine.
Step over these things.
I can cast spider climb. On
Fucking
Topher.
Eldritch Blast.
All right.
Do you want me to just Eldritch Blast him? Is that what you're trying to get me to do?
Well, it sounds like you guys have reached a pretty serious conclusion of how you want to do this, and now you're just dancing
No,
around.
I'm
what
not-
you
I don't
wanna
know that
do.
I have yet.
Topher's not being malicious in this. He just doesn't know that, what had happened. He wasn't conscious for any of that, so he doesn't know.
So Bartholonude,
And Bartholonude
are you
yells
gonna
at him, so he's
defend
obviously going to defend his, he's going to defend Bartholonude over some dude that we just met if Bartholonude's pissed at him, and I haven't heard Bartholonude say anything to stop me, so I'm going to,
Because I was just given some pretty upsetting
Troubling news.
information. Yeah, I'm kind of toned out to what you all are doing to or with Vyswine. I'm kind of walking still in the direction away from where we just woke up from, and I'm just not even paying attention to what's around me. I'm just kind of lost in a little bit of thought as I'm slowly pacing down the hallway.
I would like to know where here is. Like, where are we at? I know we got drug into a cave.
I don't think we're going to be able to figure that out here.
Well,
So you guys know
Vyswine
where
might
you're
know.
at. You guys don't exactly. So
Right. We're in the mountain.
yeah, you guys are in the mountain, under the mountain where the explosion was, where the Neverwinter River flows into.
yeah, but we were led here for some reason. Where is here? Like, what? Why did he lead us here? Why was he put under a spell to bring us here?
Okay.
that's what we're here to figure out, I guess. Sounds
Yeah,
like we're
but
here.
that's why I want to ask him.
Well, he just...
He remembers being put under a fucking spell.
Yeah, but he doesn't remember anything while he was under that spell.
No, he does.
yeah, he
does.
remembers
Yeah.
everything.
Well,
So if you wanna- if
All
that's
the more
what you
reason
wanna
for me to
ask
keep
him, then.
going at him with my spiritual
So
weapon.
Vyswine just where there's a point where the other pathway leads off, and the other it makes a corner, and Vyswine kind of backs up into this corner. It's
Through
a
my
point,
bonfires?
not like he's trapped, but there's a corner where the wall comes to a point, and he just stands at the point and just kind of sits down, and he's not going to fight it. He knows he's outmatched and outnumbered, and has no interest in harming any of you. He kind of sits down, and what exactly do you ask him?
Do you remember anything about when the spell was cast? What the elder, the golden, what the fuck ever he was? Golden dragon bitch. What did he say? Why are we here? Why did you lead us here?
Vyswine kind of looks up at you and says, "It is." How do I want to word this? The fire elementals that live under the mountain. It is long and well known by all Dragonborn that the Golden Clan Elders' main purpose is to create the ultimate Dragonborn. Whatever they are using to imbue their waters with, the magics they would use, it is hypothesized that he could use those to not only grant and make the ultimate Dragonborn, but also potentially gain eternal life. If he could find a way to harvest this magic, make himself immortal. You are here because of Bartholonude. Bartholonude is needed for this, for he knows not that he is a piece of this puzzle. The Black Dragon Clan ends with Bartholonude. He is the last blood.
So since he's asked him that question and he's given the answer, I'm still not convinced. Hamilton is still not convinced 100% that he's being honest to us. So I'm going to cast Charm Person on him.
Okay.
I'm going to put my my weapon away. My
Could you
spiritual
please put
weapon.
both away?
No.
Could you please leave
My
both?
wiener.
You're talking about your spectral weapon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it away.
Do you have a spectral wiener?
Yes.
That was the weapon.
It can,
Just a floating-
the weapon can take the
floating
shape
ghost
of whatever
dick.
I want it to, whatever kind
Ghost
of weapon.
cock.
So it's just a giant
Day
fucking
50.
dildo.
Sounds like a good band name.
Ghost
Ghost
cock.
cock.
Ghost cock.
And Pastry.
And it says
That's the best.
Yeah. So he will have to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
against. How does that work? It's against my
Spell save DC.
Spell save DC. Okay, cool.
Yep. It's probably not going to cut it. That is a 7.
Yeah, no, that's not going to cut it.
All right. This guy just loves being charmed. All right. So he is now under your charm.
Under your spell.
Are you being truthful?
Yes.
Fuck.
But be wary. Because the golden dragon elder is here.
I overhear this, and my ears kind of do that little thing that like dogs' ears do when they hear something.
Perk up.
So Bartholonude is a black dragon, right?
Yes.
Right, you are.
And he just learned that he is the last of the black
So
dragons.
Hamilton runs over to Bartholonude, and I probably come up to what, like his knee,
If.
mid. Yeah, maybe that. Okay, so are you wearing pants or are you wearing like a tunic?
You're wearing chainmail, I'm pretty sure. It's probably, I mean, it's up to him what he's wearing beneath it, though.
Yeah. How? What would I have to do to gain access to your bare legs?
Well, while you're down there,
I'll tie your shoes.
Shimmy
Don't worry.
on
I
up.
know you have trouble.
let me take a look here real quick because I might have like recorded something about that. Just like outerwear, possibly.
Commoner clothes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make the decision then. Is it like a tunic or is it like pants?
It's like pants.
Pants? Okay, cool. So Hamilton pulls up his pant leg and hawks a big loogie and spits it on the side of his calf and then grabs his tunic and just starts furiously scrubbing his black scales to see if he can reveal any gold underneath.
Interesting.
And I look down
I support this message.
as he's scrubbing my scales,
Scrotum.
and I say,
What are you doing?
I thought you might be the Golden Dragon. Apparently you guys are really susceptible to mind control.
What a fool.
And back to you, DM.
All right. So you guys have just learned a substantial amount of information about what's going on here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And Bartholonude, you also learned that apparently in your recent travels, the rest of the Black Dragon clan has been eradicated. So needless to say, you are probably having a pretty tough time digesting it. Not to mention, you just learned that your reason for returning to Neverwinter has just been found, searching for the Black Dragon or the Gold Dragon Elder. So you have just learned a lot of information. Everyone around you is kind of still absorbing the fact that they're learning to trust what Vyswine is saying due to the fact that he's charmed. So how do you guys want to proceed?
so I'm going to walk up to Vyswine. And as I'm walking up to him, he's still sitting down, right, in the
Yeah.
corner.
Well, yeah.
As I walk up to him, I reach to my back, and I grab my halberd.
Oh, shit.
And I slam it in the dirt. And I say, take me to him.
Okay. Now, Vyswine looks up at you, and he doesn't reply. He kind of looks over at Hamilton, kind of getting permission, because he's pretty much under Hamilton's charm.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
Can I like choose? I don't know how that works. Can I choose to like let someone out of it if I want to?
Yeah, you can lift the charm if you'd like.
Okay, cool. So before I do that, so he looks over at me and I say, Vyswine, stand up and come over here.
Okay, he does.
So he does.
Yeah.
Okay. Crouch down so I can reach you.
He bends over in front of you and is looking at you, almost face to face. He's still taller than you.
Is he like crouched though, or is he like bending
he's
over at the
like-
waist? He's
No,
like
he's like
crouched.
crouched, like
yeah.
his-
Okay. Good. I grab a hold of his blouse, mail armor, whatever it's called, and I swing my butt as far back as I can, and with both feet, I just drive straight into his groin.
Ouch.
That was a very descriptive dick punch. I am
Yeah.
fine
It
with
wasn't a dick punch; it was a dick swing.
Yeah.
I used his body as a swing set and kicked him with both feet in the dick.
Yes.
And then,
So naturally, he falls over and is very upset.
yeah. And then I right after I let go of him, I just snap my fingers and I release him from the spell.
Okay.
Then I walk over.
I think he has bigger problems at the moment. So.
I walk over and try to help Vyswine up, and Vyswine's still, winced from this. And as he's starting to stand up, I look back at Hamilton, and I give him a nod.
Trust has been earned today. Okay.
Yeah, so he is free.
All right. So now he looks at you, Bartholonude, and says, I know not where. And this cavern is his quarters. Is where he is doing his research on the ancient elementals. It's why the waters and the rivers have becoming so hot. Whatever he's doing, it's changing life as we know it in this region.
Super.
So he doesn't know where he is, but he knows he's in this dungeon or cavern somewhere. So he's never been here before either. So
one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of try to get everyone's attention. We must explore the area around us, find this golden dragon, and end this once and for all.
I support this message.
Brought to you by JC Maxey's.
JC.
True.
Damn.
Big true. Big true.
Big mouse. All right.
Yeah.
So do you guys all just party up and start doing some actual Dungeons and Dragons exploring?
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to do
Explore.
immediately
Party on, dude.
is you described the floor earlier as having
clear.
crystal.
Yeah, it's crystal clear.
Not
Yeah.
where you're standing, but ahead there
Yeah,
it
but
is.
then underneath of that crystal there was, that river. Mm-hmm. Does it? How thick is the crystal? Does it look like it's something?
Very. Like it's. You don't know how thick it is, but it's thick enough that you can tell they've paved a walkway through this dungeon cavern
Is it
on it.
Does it have a blue tint?
No,
No.
it's just crystal clear.
Jesse.
It's the first cook before they started using the methylamine.
I got
Oh shit!
Science, bitch.
So now, if you guys wanted to continue,
Yeah, there
you
we
can, from where you're standing, you can see directly to your right, there is a pathway with lit torches near it, and then there's also the pathway that continues with the crystal walkway.
I think that we should. I'm sorry. Let's go down the crystal walkway, guys.
True.
I think we should split up.
It would allow us to cover more territory.
No.
It's what Scooby would do.
No. The Scooby's not D&D. Split up a party in D&D, you're gonna die. Actually, yeah, me,
Benedict, transform into a Great Dane.
Bartholonude, and Vyswine will go down here. You two can go down that way.
Make a argument to me, as Hamilton, that we shouldn't split up and go both ways. Why should we go one way or the other?
I don't think we should split up because none of us know what is down in these caverns. None of us know where the giant fire beast is. And if, say, two of us are together and roll up on that dude,
Roll up on that dude.
it's going to be a lot harder to defeat it or get away from it. So I don't think that it's smart that we split up. Your face.
So what direction should we take then?
We could rock, paper, scissors.
Okay,
Rock, paper, I don't know.
let's just do a roll off.
We should do a roll off to see.
Yeah.
which way
What's
we
I want to
take
go? Which way did you want to go?
The crystal.
You want to go to the crystal?
Crystal
All right,
way,
so
yeah.
I'll roll for torches. Just roll a d20. Whoever, are you guys cool with that?
I feel like the
Before
crystal.
we move forward with this.
I mean,
Go
in
for
all
it.
honesty, if we're trying to get to that beast, I'm pretty sure he's down where the crystal is.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we could just go down the
That's
hole
just
that
a
he
crystal
went down.
path where you can see the river beneath it.
Yeah. Well, the other way is just lit by torches, though, right? Is that the way with the
but I
chart
mean,
on the walls?
this is a giant dungeon that I have created for the sake of you guys to
We get it,
explore?
dude. You put in a
or-
lot of time. We get it.
Oh, sorry. I'm glad that my all my work is just traversed via a roll of dice.
So I see that you all are kind of debating between which way to go, and then I try to gain everyone's attention, and I say, do any of you have rope?
Yes.
No, I lost it in the sewers.
God damn, you have a good memory.
I've also listened to these episodes a bunch.
I mean, that's the Centrum Silver.
Centrum Silver. I don't have rope.
How much rope do you have, Benedict?
50 feet.
I don't think that'll get us there.
Shit.
Let us roll for the next choice.
Ready?
So this is
what are
the
we rolling?
equivalent of you guys playing rock paper scissors and,
Pretty much,
and
yeah.
Is it a
narratively.
D20?
We'll do D20. Best 2 out of 3. Okay. I got a 12.
That's Jet.
One for me.
Shit, boy.
Hamilton got it.
Another 12.
That's
Oh,
Topher.
fuck.
Oh,
best
here we
two out of
go.
three.
shit. 14.
Crit fail.
Okay. All right, so we're going torches.
Great.
And you took 4 damage. Eat dicks.
I'm not taking any damage.
All right. So, you guys start to head down this pathway with the torches lit, and as you go down this path, you realize this hallway is only about 12, 13 feet long. It's very short.
Like wide or long? Like
Long.
Long.
So you start to walk down and immediately cuts right again. And as you guys walk in here, you notice that there is a massive pile of gold and weapons that are just shining with light.
Somebody grab Hamilton. Somebody grab him.
I was just about to start running.
This looks too good to be true. I recommend not touching this.
Yeah. I think we should be very cautious.
This is bait.
Has anyone grabbed me? Because I am going to start running after these things.
So let me explain the room a little bit more, and then I'm not gonna tell you guys what. So all this giant pile of what the fuck is happening? All this giant pile of gold and weapons and all this beautiful, lavish stuff is sitting. It's up on kind of like a pedestal and like a triangular platform in the near the back corner of the room, almost as if it's ready to be taken. So, kind of gives you guys more of a visual as to what you're walking into.
So, as we see this and we realize that this is clearly bait for something, I have a cantrip that I'm going to cast. It's right in front of me, but for some reason I don't see the title. Oh, it's called Detect Magic. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aurora around any visible object or creature in that area that bears magic, and I will learn its school of magic, if any.
Okay.
So I cast that.
He's going to cast that. I'm going to cast command on Hamilton.
Okay. So go ahead.
I'm not very big. Somebody could just grab me.
Nope.
Now
I'm
I'm
tired
going
of
to
your
have to
shit.
fight against
There's
this.
a lot of commands and charms this
Yeah.
this time.
All right, let's do it. Tell me what I
So
do.
go ahead and do that first. You need to roll against his spell save DC.
Okay. Wait, so I'm doing a saving throw?
Yes.
What
what?
is it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom?
Again,
okay,
what's the
so
number he has to
I'm
be?
going to get advantage on this as well, by the way.
Why?
I think
Because
he has
I have that.
that's one of his traits. He has an advantage on wisdom saving
I've got like
throws.
4 spell slots. If you fail, I'll fucking cast it.
All right, let's do one. So that's going to be a 17.
Yeah, either way, he's gonna get out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. That's
All
a
right.
15.
So back to what Ryan
All right,
did.
cool. So it didn't work. I'm going to grab the back of his collar.
Okay. So Bartholonude, you cast
Smack him.
detect magic on this giant pile of gold and weapons.
I cast it on myself, and the duration's 10 minutes.
Okay, so you cast it on yourself, and now
So
you
you
can.
can-
Okay.
Yeah, and I can
so
detect magic.
when you do this entire pile starts to light up, and within it you see some of the weapons and smaller objects that are laying in it also start to glow. So you immediately perceive that in this, there's a reason these are all here, and then some of the weapons and things laying in this stack are magic items as well.
Bartholomew, do you tell us that there's something magical about the gold?
I was hoping to actually be able to maybe tell what kind of magic it was, and that might help me.
I mean, I can
tell
tell
me the source.
I can look up the types.
Really,
of magic
the only
and tell
thing
you
I'm
what
going
it
for is trying to determine where the source might be, because my initial impression is that this is some sort of obvious booby trap.
is. Okay.
It's just like you put bait out in the middle, something goes to try to get it because it looks enticing, and then some shit happens to them.
He said booby.
Okay.
You should probably tell us to.
Okay. Hamilton
did say something.
wants to like cut in on this real quick.
Okay.
First of all-
I've still got a hold of the back of.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. I know you do.
Hold you.
First of all, I would like to check to see, just from where I'm looking, can I see if there's anything that would be directly beneficial to me, like a staff or like
There's-
robes?
If you
or
turn
anything?
around, you'll see my stuff.
There is this pile is probably like it's stacked.
Right,
like,
but can I see anything in particular that like catches my eye that I'm like, oh shit, I want that staff?
I mean, there are definitely staffs.
There's definitely
and
staffs in
There's
there.
a ton
Okay.
of good stuff in
Okay,
this thing.
good deal. All right, so
Staffs,
Hamilton-
robes, gold. I mean, everything.
Hamilton turns
Platinum.
around, okay, and is very incensed with this treasure that we've just found, okay, and Topher has a hold of him by the back of his shirt, and he is just frantically pleading with everyone, and he looks at Benedict, and he says, brother, you still have that 50 foot of rope. Topher, listen, I know that you don't want me to run out there because it might be booby trapped, but if you just tie the rope to my waist, I will run out there, I will grab as much as I can, and if I die, pull me back, and then Bartholonude can resurrect me. Please, just let me get this staff.
I'm gonna place my hand on his forehead and cast blindness.
He already has that. Like he cast it again.
No, I don't do that. Sorry, I was just trying to be an ass.
Hamilton.
Make fun of his cataracts. What is it?
Glaucoma.
That's it. That's it.
Cataracts.
Pretty close. Hamilton, I do not know how to resurrect.
You can figure it out.
I might advise that this place is imbued with a type of magic that I do not know. You might put us at risk with your own greed.
I am willing to whiskey. I'm willing to whisk it.
Hey, you! I really whisk it.
You gotta whisk it for the whisk it real good.
I'm gonna whisk you.
He's gonna whiskey.
I am willing to rescue.
To rescue what?
No. To risk you.
I see.
Also, during this entire encounter, my boner is showing through my tunic.
I cast Thunderous Smite on my halberd.
All right.
I definitely thought you were going to cast that on my boner.
Wait a second.
So, I want to whisper over to Bartholonude, and I want to tell him, I was like, we should let him go, and then I'm going to do something. And let's make him think he's going to get
whisper to Bartholonude.
it, but then he's not going to get it. Bartholonude. We should just let him go. I got something. He's not
So
gonna
be
get
it.
He doesn't have a hold of him.
Yeah, he's not the one holding me. Topher's
I'm the
holding
one
me.
holding it.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Your voice.
Please, let him go. Wait, why am I talking like you right now? I don't know, because I'm cool.
So much confusion.
I just want to be like you. It's like all the kids, in the early 2000s wanting to be like Limp Bizkit. Where are the other drugs going? The other drugs going? Let him go. Come on. Let's let him go. I got him.
Yeah, are you gonna tie the rope around?
Yeah, it's good. I do it all the time. Let's do it.
He does this everywhere.
Yeah, you guys have a very weird relationship as brothers. But I trust you, so just make sure he stays safe.
All right, I got you.
Then I laugh.
He'll be fine. Yeah.
So you let me go, right?
After he ties the rope around you, I will let you
Hamilton,
go.
just make sure you get something for me. Just go.
Okay.
You
so,
tie a rope around him first?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No?
Yeah. No. Just let him go.
No?
No.
Just gonna let me go.
Just let him go.
Okay. Then Hamilton is going to take off running.
Okay. So
I want to cast web.
What's web do? Give me the stats on web.
You conjure a mass of thick stick webbing at a point of your choice within range, which is obviously going to be him.
You're just gonna cast it on him.
Yeah.
Not like on the floor where he's running or anything.
No, yeah, I'm going to cast it on because it's like it turns into a cube. Like each creature that starts its turn in the web or that enters them during its turn must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is retained as long as it remains in the web or until it breaks free.
All right, so here's how this is gonna go. So he just takes off running at this, and your brother has known you. I mean, it's been what 140, 150 some years now.
I
mean, you guys have been brothers
it's
for a
been
long
long.
time,
It's
but
been
it
a
was
while.
like 20, 30.
Yeah.
You guys have been traveling together
Yeah,
for a long
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So you know before you take off running that they're not going to let you go easily.
Yeah, I already kind of had a plan for this.
So as he does this, he takes off running and you cast web. And it hits the floor where he's standing. Go ahead and make the dexterity saving throw. Wait, hold on. Before you read that, was your plan going to counter this in any way?
Potentially. I don't know exactly how it would work with the web.
Well, go ahead and tell me, because as the DM, I don't know what you've rolled yet. I can't see it. So go ahead and tell me what your plans were.
I was planning on, as I ran from them, creating a massive bonfire in between me and them.
Okay.
That way it would burn up any ropes that they tried to throw at me.
So let's say that you do. As you're running, you threw this, which is
Yeah.
going to give you advantage on that throw. So if you failed it, go ahead and roll it again.
I don't know what's failed and what is successful.
What is your spell save DC?
Spell save DC is 15.
Oh boy, I just danced right out of that web.
Well, you should
Well,
roll it
it's-
again anyway,
it is
just to see if you get a nat 20.
No, 17.
Okay. All right. So
Fuck.
you shoot this web. He just skips right out of it. And you guys see him as his feet plant right at the base of all this gold.
I'm going for the staff first. I don't care about the gold.
So as your feet hit, now all this is in one giant pile. Like, so you just land at the base of the gold and you
Yeah.
start going at it.
Yeah.
Or at least attempt to. Because as your feet
Am I going to have to answer riddles?
No, why?
As a Hobbit reference.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go.
All right. So, anyway, as your feet land on this pile of gold, you start to run up to get the staff. But as you take your first step, you are shoved back off of the pile, and there is a massive spectral being that appears in front of all this,
Shit.
and is just probably like to the ceiling tall. Looks just with it is a massive, it is a huge ghost woman, long flowing hair that's sparkling, and she's older, but
real
she's
hot.
she's a MILF ass ghost, just
She's sexy.
and she is just
Stacked.
hovering in front of this, and she speaks, looking right at Hamilton, and says, "You have stepped into the stockpile of destiny. What would you like?" And she kind of raises in the air a little bit and spreads her arms. Things start to fade, and all the things that you would desire come to the forefront. And this, I'm assuming you're looking at this staff.
Yeah.
Okay, so because you are desiring this, it comes to the forefront and it kind of floats in front of you. And she says, "You can have this staff, but I will require a sacrifice in return."
Hamilton points at Bartholonude.
She is, she doesn't really notice what you're doing. It seems almost as she is just locked down, but like she doesn't notice anything other than these belongings and you. Like it is just you two. And she says, "This staff could be yours." And then she explains what the staff is, but in layman's terms to the listener. The staff is pure gold, and it actually combines with your current staff to make it a full half staff instead of quarter staff. And
I am full staff right
and
now.
it will add a +2 to every attack roll you do with your quarterstaff.
Like my hit roll?
Yeah. Oh. She says, in return, I will require a permanent piece of your life. If you wish to take this staff, I will require, and she explains this to you, and essentially what it means to you is if you want this, you can have it for free, but it will cost you 10 permanent hit points.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a warlock. I've already sworn my soul to an evil god. So, yeah, I'm cool with that for sure.
Okay.
Now, hold up, because
You cannot refill these. Like you
No,
lose.
I know they're just gone. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I would like to hold up. Let me see here. Okay. So I want to. I know that I'm focused on the staff, right? But I kind of like snap out of my trance a little bit, and I've already accepted the fact that I'm going to take the hit point damage because that's totally cool with me. I would like to try to look at all the other items that I can still see and try to ascertain if any of them might be valuable to anyone else in the party.
So, as you are looking around, like I said, a lot of these items have faded.
Yeah. Like
And
I want
there's
to
things-
specifically, I would like to look for a halberd.
So there are no halberds that you can see.
Okay.
Bartholonude, you may be able to see them out where you are, but from what you see, you are gathering that this is a magical thing. Whatever this is, it feeds off of people's sacrifices.
Yeah. So I want to sacrifice theirs. Okay, so I'll just pitch it to her instead of just talking about it. Yes, I would very much like that staff, and 10 hit points is perfectly acceptable for me. I would also like to offer you 10 years off of my current life expectancy for a weapon for one of my patrons.
So she just immediately replies and says, "Your life means nothing to me.
Well, we all know that.
Your sacrifice means everything."
I would like to try to perceive that. Is it just sacrifice? Like, can I sacrifice anything? Is that a thing?
She wants your life. The more, if you want to bargain more
Yeah.
of your hit points that you have available to you, maybe she'll give you
Well,
something.
so here's what I'm thinking. I don't really want to barter hit points necessarily, but I will accept any potential negative effects of this. I have 2 daggers. I would like to cut off one of my fingers and or one of my ears and give it to her.
No. She doesn't want your body parts.
Damn. Okay.
However, 1 second.
I thought a door was opening.
There is a door opening.
All right. So she doesn't want your ears or your fingers.
Okay.
She says, if more of a sacrifice is to be made for you or your companions, then I will take one of your 2nd level spell slots permanently.
Okay, now. Sorry. Okay, now. If this is going to happen, I want a halberd.
Given that it is one of your spell slots, I will allow there to be a halberd to be chosen, but you will not know what the benefits shall be.
Yes, I accept these terms.
God, I feel like as a sorcerer warlock thing
Listen, what do I cast the most?
right now. Yeah,
Okay, and what is that?
I hate you.
It's a cantrip.
You're a
Take my
cantrip.
spell slot. I don't care.
You're a
I'll
cantrip.
just continue Eldritch
Cantrip.
blasting the shit out of everything
Okay.
with my badass staff.
All right. So she kind of reaches her hand out, and you feel part of your life force being sucked from you yet again. And there is a halberd that does present itself in front of you. And you reach out and you take the halberd. And when you grab it, it is also made of a golden, not pure gold, because that would just bend and be weird. But it's very golden. And as you grab it, you realize that it would add, going out of character here, if you were to use this halberd, which is much, much larger than you, probably double your height, maybe even triple, it adds +1 to all attack rolls, and it also has a lightning effect to it.
Meaning what? It just deals lightning damage?
Lightning is lightning damage, and it has a +1 to attack.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
So now you have this staff and this halberd in your inventory.
So I would like to then, at this point, give her a quick, thank you. So, thank you. And I'm assuming that this halberd is extremely large.
It's big.
Yeah,
it's very big.
I'm dragging this halberd back behind me, pulling on it as hard as I can, and huffing and puffing, and I keep saying to everybody else, I'm like, I got it, don't worry, I got this, I got it, I'm coming, don't worry, I got it.
Now, from their perspective, Christopher, Hamilton, Vyswine, and Bartholonude are standing there, and they see you go up onto this platform and just get sucked into this trance with this giant ghost lady, and then a couple seconds later, you come back out and you have this stuff. So they are all, none of them know exactly what happened. They're all just standing there watching this. Do any of you have any questions or say anything to him?
What the fuck did you do?
I got some stuff.
You look tired.
I'm a little sleepy.
You're so fucking I swear to God.
Oh, Bartholonude, here.
How much health do you have?
Sorry I was going to sacrifice you to that thing.
I will only accept the apology if you have something in return.
Well, here's your halberd.
So he hands you this, or I should say, drags it across the ground towards you, and it's a giant golden halberd. Giant to him, normal to you. And you pick it up, and like he said, you now have a halberd that does lightning damage and adds +1 to any attack rolls you make to it. So I'd probably mark that in your inventory somewhere.
I would like to cast Divine Sense on the halberd.
Oh, okay. There is neither an evil or you don't get the evil or the good vibe from it. It's just it's a magic weapon.
Cool.
And it also is glowing because you know that it's a magic weapon because you cast your detect magic. So Hamilton has stepped down, handed Bartholonude this giant halberd, and looking pretty winded. You're looking pretty rough. Definitely took a little bit of a beating there. Anybody have anything
when
for
he
him?
walks over and drags the halberd to me, I grab him by the shoulder and cast Lay on Hands.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and just heal him for 15 points.
Okay. So you're back up to full?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, can I know how much his HP is?
It's 17 out of 33.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't get you at full.
15 would.
No, 16 would.
Okay, then 16.
Okay.
Do it
I can
15
heal
and
4 more health
Oh,
points.
yeah. I'm stupid.
Changes blood.
All right. So you heal Hamilton. And what's next, guys?
And then he hands me the halberd,
Yep.
and I take it and I throw it up in the air. How high is the ceiling?
Really high.
So I throw it up in the air and it does one flip, and as it comes back down, I grab it and just kind of swing it around, get a feel for it, and then I look at it and I plant it in the dirt, and it just feels right.
Feels good. Feels great.
And it dissolves.
And then I punch Hamilton
He was
in the
too
face.
strong for this.
Man, that'd be shitty if it just disappeared and you lost the spell slot for nothing.
Yeah.
I'd lose a lot more health than I already did because I would slit my own throat if that.
All right. So what's next, guys? Do you share with them your experience, what happened, or you still just don't know that they didn't see it? Obviously, you don't know that, but I don't know if you...
We saw the spectral being, right?
Yeah, but beyond...
Honestly, I would assume that they heard me. I don't know that they didn't hear anything.
Okay.
So I would assume that they knew what happened.
And you guys aren't curious as to what... Because as far as, like I said earlier, what you guys saw was he went up there, he got sucked into like this trance, and then just moments later, he came back out with these weapons. Like, and the spectral being was gone.
How did you get those weapons, Hamilton?
I had to give some stuff up.
What?
10,
What have you done, you thought? 10 what?
10 permanent life points.
Which means nothing to you guys in game, but I guess
and a
explaining
second
it.
level
tier.
spell slot.
A single solitary tier.
So he explains the sacrifice that he made in some type of in-game wordage that I'm not
Cue
going to
the
be able to
Creed
conjure.
Topher
But-
pulls out his character sheet and looks to see if he can sacrifice anything.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. Okay. So he kind of
Okay,
explains
yeah.
to you guys exactly what went down, what he had to give up to get what he did. And you guys are all, I'm assuming, a mix between extremely thankful and kind
I'm
of...
not thankful. I just think he's stupid.
That's what I mean. You're thankful and just think that he's absolutely stupid for having given this up for what he's done. Other than
Hamilton-
Bartholonude, he's like, whatever.
Hamilton senses the animosity coming from Benedict and Topher, and he tries to reassure them by saying, "Listen, friends, I may have given up health points and also one of my spell slots, but I'm never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you down. I'm never gonna turn around and hurt you."
And I leave. I literally start walking away.
And the party splits up.
I'll follow Bartholonude.
The ghost speaks up and says,
Hamilton is
Rick
left,
roll!
Hamilton is left alone in the hallway, finger gunning his departing companions.
As I'm walking, I'm like, I just want to tell you.
I don't think you understand.
Oh my god.
All right, so you guys all exit the area, or
Yeah.
Daniel?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems rational.
All right, so you guys walk back out into the main hallway, and you guys cut right, and you guys start to walk towards the crystal floor. And as you guys are walking over this area, you guys look down and you see the river flowing, and it is the ground is warm because the water beneath you is so hot. So you guys walk forward a good 30, 40, 50 feet, and you continue to move forward. And as you do, there is a branch in the path again.
There's no trees down here. How do all these branches get down here?
Oh my god.
Groot has
What is it, in episode 2 where Daniel was like, I want a series wrap on Jed? Yeah. Should have given him what he wanted. Now, the path to the left of you, it's dark and you can see one torch burning in the distance at the end of the hallway, or what you perceive to be the end of the hallway. And to the right, there are two pathways. One going slightly forward to the right, and there are a lot of torches down that path. And then to the left, to the right and kind of curved back, essentially directly parallel to the path on the other side of the hallway, there is a path that leads down and into a square room where there are a lot of many floating papers in the ceiling. You can see in this room that there's just a ton of just paper just floating around in this room.
Can we hear anything?
You hear the river flowing beneath of you, and are you saying if you want to? Actually, go ahead and give me a perception check. That's fine. Actually, all of you go ahead and give me a perception check at this
Maybe
point.
I don't want to.
Well, too bad.
Nat 20.
20, but not natural.
Nice.
22.
Man.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, that's a 20.
Man. All right, so you guys just hear everything. Angels singing. So
God.
when you're standing at this three-way, when you look to the left, the path that leads off to the left and back down a little bit, you hear like a clanking of metal down that way. The path to the right, they go slightly upwards. You guys can hear more water flowing down that way. If you look back down to the right, you hear the path to the right that leads slightly down. You can hear the sound of the papers scurrying and floating around the room and hitting the walls and things of that sort.
You guys want to go down to the papers?
I think we should go towards the papers.
So
Just
you guys,
Bartholomew's not allowed to read any of them.
oh, that's interesting.
Or
So
Benedict,
you guys
apparently.
walk down the hallway, and it's a pretty long hallway, but as you get closer, you see the papers rustling. And as you get to the entry of this room, you guys can see in it, it's a perfectly square room, and these papers just seemingly are just floating all over the place. Bartholonude, you look in and you see all of these papers. You can tell that they're magic, because it hasn't been quite an hour yet, and you can still see that all these papers are imbued with magic of some sort. So as you guys come to the room, you guys are stopped by some sort of invisible wall, and all of you see it scrolled into the midair right in front of you. It says, "Choose only your wisest and send him forward."
Bartholonude!
I take 5 steps backwards.
Well,
Actually, wisdom. Mine's +2.
My wisdom is +5.
I'm picking this
my
guy
wisdom's
right
a
there.
+4. My intelligence
My
is a 0.
intelligence is -1.
I got +4 wisdom, +3 intelligence.
Well,
I choose you.
Hamilchew.
Hamel.
Gosh.
All right, so
I guess we're sitting
My
in Hamilton.
element is poverty.
So you guys, this writing shows up, and you guys all just kind of like turn and look at Hamilton, and are just like, I don't know. At this point, like the way that he acts, it surprises me like narratively to like
Choose
go.
him for
You guys are
anything.
like choose only your wisest, and you guys are all like looking at this guy that just like fucks everything up for everyone all the
At
time.
all times.
But
He's got the highest scores, man.
no, that's fine. I just narratively, it's just kind
Yeah,
of
it's
kind of
weird.
whack. Okay, so
hold on a second. Hold on a second.
okay.
So if I were to like, because I wanted to cast Bless on them, but it's only if they make a attack or a saving throw. I'm gonna do that anyway, just in case like something happens, because I don't want, I want to give him kind of an advantage if something were to attack him. So I'm gonna cast Bless on Hamilton. But
Okay.
I'm gonna like, I'm not gonna cast. I'm gonna walk over to him and just slap him on the back of the head and go #blessed.
That did not sound like your character
I'm
voice.
sorry. #blessed.
I did not have sexual relations with that one.
Okay, so Hamilton, you get blessed. You feel #blessed AF.
Hamilton's a little bit hesitant because like he just got pretty slobber knocked by that spectral woman.
But you were also
So
healed.
yeah, but I mean,
He was healed,
I
but
did
he
just
lost-
have
You
a
want-
quarter of my health ripped from my body and also one of my spell slots. So I'm like, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this, but I really hope this goes smoother than last time. And I hand my staff off to my brother, and I say to him, Benedict, this staff is worth more to me than my life and yours. Please watch after it.
Yeah, fuck it. All right.
All right, so you step up to this invisible wall where everyone kind of was stopped, and you can't see it, but you can feel it open for you. And you step into the room, and these papers are just flying everywhere. And this,
When I walk into the room, do I immediately hear dun 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 dun? Because it's a paper company.
Oh my god.
Na.
What do we? Sounds nothing. Okay, no, you don't. All right.
Is Halpert here?
All right. So. All right. So as you, everyone is all. I'm assuming all of you are standing like as close to this entry that you can't get through, watching what's happening.
Topher's like, please let him die.
And you kind of step towards the center of the room, and all these papers are just like flying by you. And then there is
I want to grab one of the pieces of paper.
So as you go to do that,
Okay, yeah.
there is someone that appears, and it's a very small bearded man. And he just shows up in the middle of this room in front of you.
Gimli?
And he says, choose 3. Only 3. That's all he says.
Hamilton's gonna die before the end of this
3
arc.
what exactly? Can I have you and 2 of these pieces of paper?
And he just puts his hand out, and the papers start to move more fluidly throughout the room. Essentially, they stop wildly flying and just start to move slowly, so you could grab 1 or 2 or 3.
I don't really think that's a very good answer. What 3 can I choose from?
It doesn't answer.
Can we see through the wall? Can we see what's going on?
Yeah, you guys are watching. You can see exactly what's happening.
So these pieces of paper, do I notice anything distinguishing about them? Do they all look the same? Are they blank? Is there something
They
written
all
on
look
them?
exactly the same to you. They're all blank.
They're all
to you.
blank
Yep.
pieces of paper.
Yep.
Okay.
And like a person in the audience at Price is Right, I yell out, "Choose that one! Choose that one!"
I pull out a kazoo and my giant foam finger that has number 1 on it. It says Hamilton. And I'm like,
Blumpkin patch. Blumpkin patch.
Okay, so is there anything distinguishable about the room?
It's just perfectly square room with paper slung
Nothing on
around
the
it.
walls, nothing on the ceilings, floors.
Nope. There are torches surrounding the ceiling, or I should say, in the square patterning around the ceiling, kind of lighting the room. But the papers don't go anywhere near the torches, so there's no fire or anything other than just what's keeping the room lit. There's no other doors or entrances or exits into the room other than the place where you guys were.
And while Hamilton's looking around, I have my halberd, dirt in the sand on one.
Halbert.
And a torch in the other. So I just take the torch and I kind of try to lean it into the wall just to kind of see what happens when
The invisible wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you do, the torch kind of reacts to it as if it was a real wall. It just kind of like the fire kind of licks straight up and down the wall.
Okay, so Hamilton wants to test it out.
Sorry for the alliteration there, but my bad.
no, I was laughing at Josh for making that noise.
So I want to grab one of the pieces of paper first and see if anything happens whenever I grab it.
Okay, so you grab one of the pieces of the paper, and the old man says, 2 more.
And there's nothing at all wrong with it, right?
No, you grab it. It feels like paper.
But it's blank.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
blank.
so So Hamilton is holding this piece of paper in his right hand. And he takes off his backpack and reaches down inside of it and pulls out a book that is inscribed with all sorts of dark and mystic and arguably evil-looking symbols and caricatures all over the book. And he opens it up and, staring at the man, reaches down with his left hand and rips 3 pages out of the book. And then with his right hand, with the one piece of paper already in his hand, he grabs 2 more and he releases the 3 pages from his book into the air and says to the old man, as a token of good faith, and closes it back up and puts it back into his backpack. And the old man would probably know this, but that book is actually the Book of Shadows, which is Hamilton's guide from his god that he has pledged his allegiance to.
Okay.
So there is any number of untold dark magic and secrets on those pages.
Okay. So these pages kind of release into the room, And I'm trying to think of a way to reward your creativity here because I really like what you were going for there. And the old man, after you grab the third piece of paper, he starts to walk backwards. And as he does, his back hits the wall and he just turns to stone. What do you do?
I guess I try to read them.
All right. So you look down and the 3 pieces of paper are folded perfectly in half. And you reach down to open the piece of paper. And as you do, you open the first paper. And 2 extremely large spectral guards surround you. One in the front and one in the back. And both of them have their spears pointed directly at your head. And you open the first sheet of paper, and there is a riddle. The first riddle that you read says, "You've heard me before, yet you hear me again. Then I die till you call me again."
Then I die till you call me again. You've heard me before, you hear me again.
No input from the audience.
Then I die till you call me again.
You heard me before, yet you hear me again. Then I die until you call me again.
You're fucking
Hamilton.
staff.
Make an intelligence check for me.
Okay. Is this against magic?
No, this is just a check.
Okay,
just give me a check.
That's gonna be 19.
19? Okay, that's a good one. So with a 19, I'm going to give you a hint just to progress this a little bit.
Okay, sure.
So I'm going to read this again, and I'm going to give you one hint in it.
Okay.
You've heard me before, yet you hear me again. Then I die till you call me again.
Oh, it's an echo.
An echo is right.
Yeah.
So as you mutter this word, go ahead and give me a mutter.
Echo?
All right, as you mutter this paper just dissolves in your hand, and these guards step back slightly. Now you have 2 pieces of paper in your hand. What do you do?
Hamilton turns around and gives everyone else the finger.
Flame finger.
Explosions. I guess I just open up the second page. I mean, I might as well.
All right.
You can do this.
God, we need to do more riddles, though. I fucking love riddles.
All right. So you open up the second page, and you begin to read. What does man love more than life? Fear more than death or mortal strife. What the poor have, the rich require, and what contented men desire. What the miser spends and the spendthrift saves, and all men carry to their graves.
I want to say time, but it doesn't match up for everything.
No.
The miser, I mean, yeah, the miser spends time, but a
Poor
spendthrift
have.
doesn't save.
The poor have and the rich require.
The miser spends it, and the spendthrift saves it. The poor have it, the rich require it. God. All men love
More than life.
more than life,
But
and they
all
fear
men
it
love
more than death.
more than mortal strife. What
More
the
than
poor
death.
have, the rich what the poor have, the rich require, and what contented men desire. What the miser spends and the spendthrift saves, and all men carry to their graves.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So Hamilton, give me that mutter. What do you think?
Nothing.
And as you say this, the spectral figures back even further, and their spears lift. And you have one paper left in your hand. The door to the room opens in front of you all. You're free to leave if you'd like. But there's one paper left in your hand.
Hamilton opens the paper.
Okay. So Hamilton opens the last paper and looks down and reads, "An iron horse with a flaxen tail. The faster the horse runs, the shorter his tail becomes."
So I want to say it's like some kind of a vehicle, but that doesn't make sense for this world.
It is something that would make sense, like something that would still
and
be
see, that doesn't.
an iron horse with a flaxen tail. The faster the horse runs, the shorter his tail becomes.
Okay, so it's I'm trying to think of what the exact word would be. It's like I feel like it's going to be something like a tractor or a scythe
Yeah,
or
I was gonna say like
something.
brush hog.
Yeah, something that is used to cut grain fields with. Because that would make sense. Because as it goes, the faster that it goes, the less grain that's left over. But I don't know what would be in this particular.
I'm going to tell you that the answer, when you think of it, it's gonna align perfectly. So if you don't think that answer aligns completely perfectly, I would go with your gut.
The door is open now, right? Too.
Yeah, you can drop
Okay,
this.
cool.
And
So
leave.
I want to turn around and tell everybody what's on this piece of paper and see if anybody else has any input.
So you turn around and you call everyone into the room. Do you guys all come in?
Yeah, fuck it, I'm going.
We have to go through the invisible wall to get there.
It opened.
wall's gone.
I stated that a few minutes ago.
Oh.
Thanks for paying attention.
You said a door opened. You didn't say an invisible wall disappeared.
Fair enough.
I guess I go in.
I'll go in.
So, Hamilton, you turn to them and you look at them and you say, "An iron horse with a flaxen tail. The faster the horse runs, the shorter his tail becomes." Benedict, Bartholonude, Vyswine, and Christopher all hear utter gibberish.
Yeah, okay, Gary old slap and pickle.
Yeah, that.
Why do we hear gibberish?
I don't know. We hear gibberish.
I think Hamilton has had a stroke.
Is it in a different language or something?
Well, apparently it's
The-
something that only he can understand for the time being.
The implication being that you were told to choose someone to send in, and it's up to him to figure this out. However, the door has been opened, and the guards have stood down, meaning he is free to go if he chooses. Hamilton, give me an intelligence check. I'm assuming you're ready for the hint, if you can.
That's probably not going to do it, but that's going to be an 8.
Yeah, not good enough.
So I walk up to one of the spectral warriors and just kind of look at him closer.
Do you want to investigate the spectral warrior?
Yeah.
Okay, give me that investigation check.
12.
Okay. So as you walk up to these things, they don't really react to you being there at all. And you look at them and their shields, obviously all ghost-like, but you can still make out the inscriptions on them. Their shields, the armor, everything is bearing the crest of Neverwinter, with the snowflakes encircled in their prisons and the shield that was described. And they are completely still, as if they are not there and they don't know you're there.
While he's thinking about it, I bust out my flute.
Hamilton, you put your hands on your head, and you like are struggling here.
Yeah, I am.
So go ahead and give me another intelligence check.
23.
Ah, okay, there it is.
Don't make it too good of a hint, though. I don't want you to just like give it to me.
Okay. All right. You are on an extremely keep thinking about the clothes thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly you are on.
Oh shit! I think I know what it is.
Please.
Is it a needle?
Is that the whole answer? Yeah. It's just a needle.
Like a needle and thread.
That is it.
He got a needle dick, but he fucks like a sewing machine.
Yes! You did it.
God.
Nice.
I'm so proud
All right, I'm going home. I'll see you guys
Instantly
later.
goes to sleep.
There's Bartholonude's playing flute, and like while he's playing the flute, he's still playing, and he says, "I'm so proud of you." What a
I was
talented,
playing it with my nose.
what a talented individual. All right, so the guards disappear, and the old man comes back to life. He kind of fades from stone to tan to flesh, and then walks back up to you. And he presents you with a book. And all the pages from the room swirl around him. All the pieces of paper. And they all culminate, and as he opens the book, they all fly back into the book. And he calls the entire party into the room and requests that you all line up in front of him. And everybody, do you follow?
I mean, I'm already in the room. I guess I line up.
Everyone else? Bartholonude?
Yep, I have my halberd and my torch.
Okay. Benedict,
Yes.
do you line up?
Yes.
All right. So the old man opens the book and says to all of you, including Vyswine, who's standing in the circle with you all, says, life presents many challenges, many obstacles, many riddles, and you have overcome them all. You may choose, each of you, one page from the book. Choose wisely, as it may not be as you want, but all of them will be beneficial to you. For the intelligence you have displayed today will aid you in your coming journeys. And he disappears back into stone, and the book hovers in front of you. There are nothing on any of the pages in the book in front of you, as each of you kind of peek at it and sort through it.
Can I just take the whole book?
You cannot.
Oh, okay. Can I try?
Not you could try, but I had assumed that why I said you cannot. Like I had assumed you had already tried because
Oh,
you're Hamilton.
Okay.
And
that's
it's stagnant. But you can take a page from the book. So, and when you take a page from the book, I'm just assuming all of you do. I'm gonna need everyone to roll a D100.
And how do we, I guess, tell me a little bit about how we're actually choosing the page from this book.
That's up to you. It has hundreds and hundreds of pages.
But like, is the book's not open? You said we couldn't grab it or whatnot.
No, it's open. I said it was open.
Oh, okay. So
But you can sift through the book if you want, but all the pages are completely blank.
Are there page numbers?
What I'm trying to do here is you roll a D100 and I give you a random item based off the number that you choose.
Okay. I rolled a 74, but I would like to choose page 13.
So you open 13 pages to this, hearkening back to your recollection of your scrolls you were studying, thinking of this inane thing that you said, 13 palm trees. So you go to page 13, and you pull it out. And in your hand, this page transforms into a helmet that is perfectly sized for your head. So you could definitely tell it's magic. You could tell it's imbued with magic because your detect magic is still going strong. And it has small horns on the side of its head, and it is kind of pointed in the front. Bartholonude, this is a helmet for you. And the rarity of this item, you can tell immediately, because this is something that is, given that you have detect magic on, you can tell exactly what's going on with this. For the duration, while you're wearing this helmet, the duration of negative conditions on you is reduced by 1 round. You gain a +2 bonus to maintain your concentration on spells. So if something lasts for 2 rounds, it will last for 4 rounds. Your dexterity ability score is increased by 1 while you are wearing this helmet.
Damn.
And once per day, you may grant yourself advantage on a dexterity saving throw.
Damn. That's sick.
So please add the Wasp Agility helmet to your inventory.
You did it, bro.
That's baller as shit.
All right. Hamilton,
Dwayne Johnson.
what number did you roll?
10.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get you
110.
what that is. All right. This is ironic. So you take your page from the book, and it transforms into a cloak
Oh, hell
that is in front of you.
Can it be a onesie? Or overalls?
You're such a lucky bastard. I'm so sorry. This cloak, when you wear it, your maximum hit points are increased by +10. Of course. Yes. Of course.
Free staff.
Wow.
Yes. Knew it all
God,
along.
you are so
Eat
lucky.
dicks. Knew it
You're
the
so lucky.
whole time. Fixing that right now.
But you lose another 2nd level spell slot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you have to lose all of your hair. So,
Rats.
oh wait.
Got him.
Never
Also,
mind.
you are now granted resistance to lightning damage.
Oh shit.
That is tight.
Does my cloak like have a cool like thunderbolt gun?
You know what? It's your cloak. However you want it to look.
Design it.
Go for it, man. Explain to us
Oh,
how this
man.
cloak looks.
It's got
Thunder.
above. So at the very top of the cloak,
Lightning and the
there's
thunder.
there's a
Thunder
man's
Prince Major
bicep.
Cloak.
At the top of the cloak, there's a man's
This cloak
bicep.
is brought to you by Thunder Prince.
And it looks a little bit like a dick and balls. But it's also potentially a man's bicep. And then below that is a cloud, and then there's some rain coming out of the cloud, and there's a giant thunderbolt, and at the very bottom of
A
it,
thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? What's a thunderbolt?
A lightning
Thunder is
bolt?
sound.
like lightning bolt. Come on, we're playing D&D. Like you don't know what a thunderbolt is.
Thunderbolts are
I've never
real.
seen a thunderbolt.
Thunderbolts is what they used to refer to lightning bolts as.
Well, that's stupid. That's why they refer to them as lightning bolts now.
Okay, there's a lightning bolt coming out of the cloud, and it's hitting Topher. Topher is at the bottom.
Picture of Topher on it.
Topher is at the bottom of the cloak, being electrocuted to death by this lightning bolt.
This is an oddly specific item.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
very
thought like
specific.
coming out of the cloud was one of these.
Yeah.
Just like this.
A lightning cable.
Dongle.
And in his process of being electrocuted by this lightning bolt, you can see through his clothing, and he has a really small dick.
Wow, that is.
Yeah, all of that's on my cloak.
This is a definite magic item. Like this is.
This is very magic.
You are so proud to be wearing this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, that is the stalwart cloak of the Blue Dragon and Tiny Dick. That is what it's called. The stalwart cloak of the Blue Dragon. Topher, what was your number?
15.
15. You grab this page, and it immediately transformed to something that's actually in your hand.
It's a dick.
Completely enclosed, so it's extremely small. Definitely your dick. No, I'm sorry. It's a ring. And as you open,
Is it a cock ring?
it's not a cock ring.
I just figured it
And
might
as
be.
you open it, there's. Why is this a thing? Oh my gosh.
There's a what?
It's a ring that has a picture of a Hydra on the front of it. This ring grants you a hit point increase of 2. Also, a Constitution ability score increase of 3.
Holy shit.
Can I wear it on my tiny cock? Because apparently it's as small as my finger.
It's called the Hail Ring of Hydra.
I rolled a 37, by the way.
I don't give a shit. You're not getting anything.
You don't get
That works.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, so a 37?
Yes, 37.
All right.
You get AIDS. Everybody
Joke's
has
on
AIDS.
you,
AIDS.
Can you get AIDS twice?
AIDS squared. You have it.
All right, Josh.
Yes.
You get nothing.
Interesting.
Really? Doesn't get
It makes
anything?
complete
Nothing.
sense.
37 is nothing. I'm just fucking with you. You grab your page, and when you do, there is a nothing in here, by the way. That's but he did not get the nothing.
He gets a paper cut, and it slowly kills him.
Sweet.
You get poisoned.
I have advantage against poison.
Not from the paper.
Fuck.
No, so you grab the paper, and it transforms into a set of boots. And
That are
these,
just a little bit too small.
no, they are perfectly sized
Really
for you.
uncomfortable.
And these boots are the Wasp Athletic Boots.
Tight. Maybe they'll fix my
Your
knees.
maximum hit points are increased by 5.
Damn.
The duration of negative effects on you is reduced by 1 round. Once per day, you may grant yourself advantage on any athletic skill check. Once per day, you may grant yourself advantage on any perception check.
Damn.
Once per day, you may grant yourself advantage on any history check. And that is your
Advantage.
item.
God damn, so
on
we got like
everything.
a fucking parkour Albert Einstein over here.
Advantage on everything, basically.
And Vyswine rolled a 26.
Plus 5 HP.
He immediately dies.
Vyswine grabs a page, and there is a belt that appears. And for the duration of any negative effects on him is reduced by 3 rounds. His maximum hit points are increased by 5. Once per day, he is granted advantage on any deception checks. His dexterity skill is increased by 2, and he has resistance to lightning damage, which he had already because he's a dragon. Just gone.
I didn't know there was getting stoned in this episode. It's crazy.
Oh my god, you guys make it really difficult to be a DM. It's really tough.
Isn't that what we're here for?
I think you also make it very difficult to be a DM.
Dun dun.
You're bad at DMing.
I got the reference. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're bad at growing hair and seeing.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Cast mute on fucking Hamilton.
Good luck, bitch.
wow, blind, bald, and mute. Holy crap.
Oh, God. Just can't wait till he's deaf.
Hamilton Killer.
Damn.
You guys want to go down to the papers?
That's what I was thinking.
I kind of want to go to the papers.
Yeah. On
About
papers.
you?
Because last time we went there, we started a podcast company.
Yeah, maybe this time we can end it.
Jesus.
Negative 13 palm trees.
Finally. We're back even.
We're down to
I can
0,
continue
guys. It's a
my
wrap.
Sad life.
We ran out of palm trees. The top of the 13th page just says how to start a mediocre podcast company.
Damn.
Step 1, acquire palm trees.
All right.
Acquire
so
palm trees.
you
Step 2, count them. If they add to 13, please move to step 3.
If not, recount them.
So it's like the beginning of World War
Yeah,
I.
what did Vyswine get?
I explained it to you already,
A cock ring.
Shit.
and
listen to it whenever
and
I
I
edit
would
it.
I would explain it again, but
It's
I've
okay.
already
No,
moved
don't.
on from that page,
Yeah,
and I don't
don't.
feel
It's
like
okay.
looking at it again.
It's fine. Yeah, you don't have to explain yourself. Just do it.
Okay.
Traverse.
So you got God. I hate this.
Traverse away.
Listen to that.
I haven't said traverse other than
I know.
ironically
It's the
yet.
picture. The picture made me laugh so hard.
Proudly sponsored by Chevrolet.
If we were all rich, one of you would have bought me a Chevy Traverse.
Shit. But you don't
It's like Donkey Kong music or something.
I don't know, but I fucks with it.
I'm sure you do.
I don't know if that was supposed to. Was that supposed to be offensive?
There's normally another word that follows that, but I can't say it because we're recording.